The body starts to change quite a bit, and fitness can be really fun after 30 if we become more aware on our recovery and how that all integrates into our lifestyle. So with that being said, I just wanted to talk about some key features that really, this is like my first review and I'm still getting used to talking on camera, so bear with me. But the Ultra Human Ring, I wanted to talk about the key features in what really sets this watch, and what sets this ring apart and what makes it so awesome. So let me go ahead and open the box here. This is how it comes. Ultra Human Air, the packaging is very sleek, very aesthetic, which I like. And this is actually my second ring. I lost my ring at Target recently, trying on clothes, and was actually trying to get in the gym real quick, and forgot my workout stuff, so you know how that goes. But anyways, these things are a little pricey, I believe $349, so it's not something that you want to kind of keep laying around. But very, very nice ring. Something I noticed about this was I was very impressed with the cut of the ring. Now I'm like a jeweler, right? The ring is very aesthetically pleasing. This one right here. It's very lightweight too. You can't even really feel it on your finger, which I guess is a little, I kind of underestimated this ring, you know, it's a little unassuming. It's just so clean. So I was like, okay, this little thing, lightweight, I mean, is it really gonna tell me all of that data that it claims to with as far as improving, really improving my lifestyle? And really, will it do anything for me that the Apple hasn't already done? So in saying that, I was not impressed at all week one. But after I contacted Ultra Human, they let me know that after wearing the ring for 2 weeks, it has algorithms that really pay attention to your heart rate variability while you're sleeping. And as it better understands your body, then it'll start implementing more algorithms and giving more access to your performance data and all of this other good stuff, which is just like, wow. So I think it was around the 2-week mark when I started getting access to all of that data. So I just wanted to pull up this app here just so I can briefly go over the different metrics that this ring tracks, you know. So we have our heart rate. We also have our metabolic or cardiovascular age, which I think is amazing information. And how it all ties in together, I think, is phenomenal, because you know, you go do a workout and it immediately tells you how that workout, it'll give you a notification telling you how that workout impacted your cardiovascular age, how it reversed that cardiovascular age a little bit, and how that improves recovery, muscle building, which I think is just valuable information, especially like if you love to, you know, watch Andrew Huberman, you know, on the biohacking, or Peter Attia, hope I'm saying that right, because that guy's awesome, no disrespect, man. But you know, Joe Dispenza, all the cool biohacker YouTube channels that are, you know. So right now, I mean, I've been coming off an injury in the right calf strain, so my metabolic age is accurate. I mean, I'm 38, my metabolic age says I'm 38. When I'm really getting after it and say training for a triathlon, usually that'll go down to in the 20s, which is awesome because I actually feel great. So I can say anecdotally, the information is accurate. They claim to be pretty accurate through you know, the sensors that they use in their ring. So from what I can tell, using different devices such as Garmin and Apple, this ring is actually pretty spot on. So another thing is the sleep data. The sleep data information, the tracking is impeccable. It really goes into further detail in the different types of sleep, you know, the zones, the REM sleep and the light, you know, deep sleep, light sleep, and how these are impacting your training. So it's integrating everything that you're doing in the week, and it's basically giving you feedback after every rest, every night's rest. So I personally love that information because I find it very encouraging and motivating. I'm not somebody that likes a lot of extrinsic motivation. I don't really respond to that. So when people tell me, hey man, you're doing a good job, I'm like, thanks, And it's something I've always struggled with. It's not like that's necessarily a good thing, but that's just been me. But how I've found ways to stay motivated or things like this. I love that it's giving me objective information based off what I'm doing and saying, hey, you're doing a good job, you're on the right track. I find that little pat on the back in the week oddly, strangely, very rewarding. So in saying that, it also gives you information based off your lack of activity. So I'll get notifications that say like, I missed a workout, 2 days in a row or 3 days in a row. It'll just kindly give me a notification telling me how skipping those sessions is impacting my cardiovascular age and how it's impacting my, goals, quote unquote, with my fitness. And I mean, in saying that, obviously there's, a certain kind of expectation we all have on how we all want to look, and there's a certain balance to that based off of how much work you're willing to do. But so I mean, if you're somebody that can handle those critiques coming in through your phone and take them in a positive way, which I think is, it's just very valuable information. It's great. I mean, if I was like, pretty streaky and maybe worked out 1 week and not the next week and worked out 1 week, not the next week. I mean, this would be great to just give me my health data, but I probably, truthfully, wouldn't want to wear this if I wasn't active, because then I'd just be getting a bunch of notifications about how I'm regressing, which that's not fun. But I mean, accountability, right? This is kind of like a cool little accountability tool in a way, and I find it can be very fun. You get on these good streaks with your sleep, I mean, even eating processed foods. So as a nutritionist, I pay a lot of attention to ingredients, even more than macronutrients, because I'm a huge believer that we need to try and maintain the integrity of our cells. It's like, I don't want to just achieve a muscle goal, but then be at a higher risk of cancer. Where's all my hypochondriacs at? So I want to be healthy. Do I live the most perfect healthy lifestyle? No. But just based off of my intuition, what I feel like is the right path, that's what I do. So, when I was, had a pizza vendor, the first time that I was wearing this ring, it was interesting because, I usually feel the symptoms of what that vendor feels like the next day. The swelling of the brain, so you get that inflammation, and, you feel a little bit of brain fog, a little bit of a food hangover, nothing serious, just kind of like a little slower getting going. And of course, because of my education background, obviously I know what's going on in the body, but it's so crazy, like seeing it on your device, on your iPhone, seeing that information pop up and just letting me know, like, hey, based off of what you ate yesterday, your recovery is slowing down. So it's like when I got that that notification, I was like, this is interesting. Like, I mean, we know this, but I'm seeing the information and it's being directly applied to what I'm doing and it's like in those moments you really feel like you have a coach, like you have somebody that's really that you're accountable to, that's really guiding you in the right direction. So I think the Apple Watch does not do things like that. I think the Apple Watch has similar technology, but I don't think it integrates it with its algorithms as well. For instance, when I wore that's why I didn't get the Ultra Apple Watch. I've kind of stayed with my normal wearable that I still like. Sometimes you just want to wear the simple smart device, and you want the notifications, But battery life, right? I mean, all you Apple users know that battery life is limited, and a lot of times when you're busy, in your career, a workout is really like stretching beyond our norm. It's, you know what I'm talking about. It's like you pull through the gym after a long day of work and you're stressed and you're like, the last thing you're thinking about is my Apple Watch charged? I know from experience. You know what I'm talking about. So, you know, I got tired of having a dead Apple Watch. So I decided to wear my dedicated fitness tracker more, just because, you know, I never know when a workout's going to go down, and I like that my Garmin holds up to, I think, a 21-day charge. Don't quote me on that, because this is a 6 Pro, so man, this thing has lasted a very long time. But great watch. I have no reason to upgrade. Don't need the latest greatest. This little LCD is more than great. Still get the same metrics, data, all that good stuff. But so yeah, this just differs completely, because on the Apple Watch, you know, you'll get your heart rate, you'll get how many calories you burn per workout, you'll get your, you know, sleep data based off of how you sleep, you know, and it gives great data. It's a great watch. Getting more and more competitive with the fitness dedicated devices. The only thing that it's still lacking on is battery life, which is a huge problem. It's something that sounds minor, but when you get into your daily flow and you are busy, it is a massive problem. So for me, anyway. But that's that some workouts, you know, can be up to 2 hours sometimes, you know, depending if it's like a long run or a swim and a run or a bike or so. Yeah. And then, you know, the last thing I'll say with the Apple Watch is that it gives you that information separately. So it's like, okay, sleep data, that's great. It kind of touches up and says, you know, this is your sleep score, and, you know, this is your recovery based off of how you slept. But the Ultra Human Ring ties this into your performance as well. So it's factoring in what you've done as far as your load, your intensity, and it's factoring in how much you're recovering based off of the sleep data as well. So it's really interesting. It's a lot more integrated or integrative, which I find amazing. The last thing I'll touch up on the Ultra Human Ring, which I think is pretty cool, they keep adding to the platform. Their app is extremely user-friendly, easy to use. They now have like these little widgets that they're adding on. So like one of them is like a vitamin D widget, and it basically kind of tracks the IUs of sun exposure that you get per day, and also lets you know based off of where you live in your area when is the most optimal time to get sun exposure. So if you work in a very enclosed environment, maybe you don't have windows, which I mean that kind of sucks if you do, but I've been there. Yeah, so hopefully you have a window. But you know, if you need sun exposure, which is super important, you know, we get that dopamine and that serotonin that released from getting those healthy vitamin D rays. And then obviously, you know, we know that D is super important for our general cellular health. And yeah, when you don't get enough actual sun every single day, you know, just enough, that can really mess with our mood and our whole general health. So that's a cool little thing, because I tend to get quite a bit of sun when I'm in a good flow. But, you know, like maybe the little one had been sick, or maybe, you know, things happen, and, you know, maybe there's been a few days where I haven't been able to get outside. And so I thought that little vitamin D widget was neat, because, you know, you just click on it, say that's what you want to add to your metrics of what you want to be notified about, and I get a little notification that just lets me know, hey, you need more sun exposure today, go out between 10 and 11 a.m. for optimal sun exposure. And it also lets me know the times not to go outside. So I think that's awesome, because yeah, I used to, you know, just kind of get out there and train in whatever kind of weather, no matter if it was this Texas 107 degrees, you know, and, you know, sometimes I'm still out there. I mean, sometimes it's just got to get done. But I like being aware of what I'm doing and knowing that I'm in some harmful rays right now, so I need to kind of like limit my workout somehow, or, you know, just maybe not do it again the rest of the week since my skin is really baking out there. Unfortunately, that's where we're at with our ozone layer, but just try to stay focused on the positives and make sure that I'm not overexposing myself to any unharmful radiation from the sun. I think it's radiation, hopefully. Yeah. But in saying that, this ring, Ultra Human ring, amazing. Ultra Human, if you're watching this, I'm here, and I really love your ring, just saying. It's incredible. Can't say enough great things about that. You're tracking your metabolic age, you're tracking your recovery, you're seeing how food is impacting your recovery. All this ties into not only performance, but just mood and health. I also didn't even touch up on the stress metrics. It'll give you notifications telling you you're a little overly stressed, or based on what you're experiencing with your heart rate, maybe you should go for a walk or do some breath work. And then they have a whole, sort of peripheral service or incentive where they have, all sorts of biohacking clips through their app where you can learn about metabolic age, what all of that means, about insulin sensitivity, across the board, how to live a healthier, cleaner life. There's even things on yoga. I've listened to some of the meditation bits on there, the little audio bits, and they're incredible. I was a little taken back because I don't know anything about meditation. Like, I'm not a meditating kind of guy. And I found myself, a few nights there being like, all right, this breathing this is good. This is helping me. So, hey, there's always room for growth. That's what I like about this Ultra Human ring. You can really tell that growth and progress, is really integrated into the app, the interface, the ring. Can't say enough good things. So.